Okay, so you're thinking about bringing a dog into your life, and that's awesome. But choosing the right dog, well, it's a lot more than just scrolling through cute photos online, right? We're talking about like a really long-term commitment here, a new member of your family. So to make sure you find a dog that truly fits your life, we're doing a deep dive today into all your research. And I have to say, you've really done your homework.
You definitely have. You're so right. This is not a decision to be made lightly. So before we even think about specific breeds, your sources all point to one crucial first step, a lifestyle audit.
Lifestyle audit. Okay, that sounds kind of intense, like I'm about to have my pantry judged on a reality TV show.
Not quite, but it is about taking a good look at your life, your habits, your routines, and really figuring out how a dog fits into all of that.
Okay, yeah, because a dog isn't like a house plant, It's not like you can just stick it in a corner and forget about it.
You're exactly right. It's about compatibility and honesty. So first up, your sources all emphasize the importance of your living space.
Makes total sense. A Great Dane in a tiny studio apartment, that's probably not going to fly.
Exactly. A spacious yard is obviously fantastic for large, energetic breeds. But if you're in a smaller apartment, maybe think about a more compact, lower energy dog. It's all about matching the dog's needs to your environment.
Right. You've got to consider their physical and mental well-being just as much as your own. So, okay, we've got living space covered. What's next on this lifestyle audit checklist?
You found some fascinating articles about energy levels, which is so important. Think about it. Are you someone who loves to hike, bike, always on the go? Or are you more of a homebody who enjoys a good cuddle on the couch?
Okay, so if I'm training for a marathon, I probably shouldn't get a dog that's content napping all day.
Precisely. Those high-energy dogs,
Mhm.
like your Border Collies, your Siberian Huskies, they need a job to do. Without enough physical and mental stimulation, well, they can become destructive or anxious.
Yeah, it's like they have all this pent-up energy with nowhere to go. So matching energy levels is crucial. Now, I have to admit, this whole time commitment thing kind of makes me nervous. Puppies are adorable, but they require so much attention.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
And that's one of the biggest misconceptions people have when getting a dog.
Yeah.
Your research does a great job at really breaking down those early months and years. Housebreaking, basic obedience training, socialization.
Yeah.
It's essentially like having a toddler.
Okay. That's a lot. And I'm guessing that's why a lot of those articles also suggest considering an adult dog.
Exactly. Adult dogs, especially those who have already had some training, can be a really wonderful option, especially for first-time owners or those with busy schedules. They're often calmer, their personalities are more established, and they might even be already house-trained.
It's like skipping the terrible twos, but with a dog. All right, so we've talked about living space, energy levels, and time commitment. What about the other humans in the house? The ones who might be allergic to fur or scared of big dogs? Such a good point. You clearly did your research on this, especially when it comes to families with children. It's not just about finding a dog that's good with kids, which, by the way, is not a guarantee with any breed. It's about finding a dog that really matches your family's overall energy and play style. Some breeds are naturally more tolerant and patient, while others might be a bit more on the sensitive side, or even prone to herding behaviors.
Okay, so if I have young children, what are some breeds that are generally known for being good with kids? I'm picturing those heartwarming photos of toddlers hugging golden retrievers.
Golden retrievers are definitely a popular choice for families, and for good reason. They're known for their gentle nature and playful personalities. Labradors are another great option, as are smaller breeds like Cavalier King Charles Spaniels and Bichon Frises. But, and this is really important, every dog is an individual.
So even within a breed that's known for being good with kids, you could still end up with a dog that's a bit more standoffish or skittish. Precisely. And that's why it's so important to beat any dog, especially one that will be living with children, before making a decision. Observe how they interact, how they respond to being touched, whether they seem comfortable or stressed.
It's such an important reminder that dogs have feelings too. We can't just assume they'll automatically love every human they meet.
And on that note, let's not forget about existing pets. Bringing a new dog into a home with other animals can be really tricky. It's crucial to consider your current dog's personality, their play style, even their history.
Right. A dog that's always been an only child might not be thrilled about sharing their space and their humans with a new furry sibling.
Exactly. And then there are the practical matters.
You mean the financial aspect of dog ownership?
Exactly. It's easy to get caught up in the excitement of getting a dog. But the reality is, they do require a financial commitment. Food, vet care, toys, grooming. It all adds up.
No kidding. And I'm guessing those costs can vary depending on the breed and size of the dog, too.
Absolutely. Larger breeds tend to eat more, which means higher food costs. Some breeds, like those with longer coats, might require more frequent grooming. And then there's always the potential for unexpected vet bills.
Okay, so not only do we need to make sure our hearts are ready for a dog, but our wallets need to be prepared too.
Well said. And speaking of being prepared, you also included some really interesting research on understanding dog personalities, which goes beyond just breed characteristics.
Yes. Tell me more about this puppy aptitude test I keep seeing in these articles. It sounds fascinating.
It really is. It's based on the idea that even within a litter, puppies have distinct personalities. And these tendencies can actually offer clues about their adult temperament.
Okay, this is where it gets really interesting. Can you walk me through some of these tests and what they reveal?
Sure. One of the most common ones is called the social attraction test.
Okay. What happens during the social attraction test?
So picture this. The breeder places a puppy a short distance away, and then the breeder walks towards the puppy. They're looking at how the puppy reacts. Does it eagerly approach the breeder, wagging its tail? Does it shy away or seem hesitant?
So they're gauging the puppy's comfort level with human interaction.
Exactly. A puppy that confidently approaches the breeder. Well, they're more likely to be outgoing and comfortable with new people. A puppy that hangs back or seems unsure, well, they might be more reserved,
Yeah.
maybe even prone to shyness.
Fascinating. So it's not just about whether they like people, but how they express that.
Exactly. Another test, and this one might sound a little odd, but it's actually quite revealing, is the restraint test.
Restraint. Okay, what do they do? Put the puppy in like a tiny straitjacket?
Not quite. The breeder gently holds the puppy on its back for
Yeah.
a very brief period, maybe 30 seconds, and observes how the puppy reacts. Some puppies will struggle and fuss, while others will just relax and go limp.
And what does that tell us about their personality?
Believe it or not, it can actually reveal a lot about their dominance and their potential for anxiety. Puppies who struggle intensely, well, they might be more prone to dominance or reactivity, while those who relax easily, they're likely to be more laid back and adaptable.
Wow, that's incredible. They can glean so much information just from observing these subtle reactions.
It's true.
Mm.
Of course, these tests aren't foolproof, but they can offer really valuable insights into a puppy's potential temperament.
This is also fascinating. It's like we're getting a glimpse into the secret lives of puppies.
It really is. And speaking of puppies, your research also delves into specific breeds that are often recommended for first-time owners.
Yes, this is the fun part. Let's talk about those classic family-friendly breeds, the ones that are known for being easy to train and eager to please.
Of course, you've got your golden retrievers, America's sweetheart,
Yeah.
known for being incredibly patient and eager to please. They're often a top choice for families with young children.
I can see why. What about some smaller breeds that are good for first-time owners? Something a bit more portable.
Oh, you've got some great options highlighted in your research. Bichon Frises are known for their cheerful dispositions and fluffy white coats.
Oh, they're adorable. What about a breed that's maybe a bit calmer? Something that doesn't need, like, hours of exercise every day?
You might want to consider a Cavalier King Charles Spaniel. They're known for being affectionate, gentle, and perfectly content cuddling up on the couch with their humans.
They sound absolutely delightful. Okay, so we've covered some great options for first-time owners. But what about someone who's looking for a dog that can really keep up with their active lifestyle? You know, someone who's always on the go, hiking trails, exploring the great outdoors.
You're talking about those high-energy breeds we mentioned earlier.
Yeah.
Siberian Huskies, with their striking good looks and incredible endurance, are definitely a popular choice for adventure seekers.
They were bred to pull sleds.
Right.
Talk about stamina.
Exactly. But they're not the only ones. Border Collies, known for their intelligence, herding instincts, and boundless energy, are another fantastic option for active individuals or families.
They need a job to do.
Right.
Otherwise, they get bored and start hurting the furniture.
Precisely. And for the water lovers out there,
Dalmatians.
Dalmatians! Like the firehouse dogs.
The very same. Did you know they were originally bred to run alongside carriages? Talk about stamina. They're strong swimmers and love to be active.
Wow. I had no idea. So if you're looking for a dog that can keep up with your active lifestyle, these are definitely the breeds to consider. But what about those of us who are, well, a bit more laid back?
You're talking about those low-key loungers, the dogs who are perfectly content with a good cuddle on the couch.
Exactly. Not every dog needs to be training for the Iditarod.
You've got some great options highlighted in your research. Basset hounds with their soulful eyes and droopy ears are practically synonymous with relaxation.
They just scream couch potato in the best way possible. What about a breed that's small and cuddly? something that doesn't shed too much.
Shih Tzus are always a popular choice for those looking for a smaller companion. They were originally bred to be lap dogs, so they're perfectly content cuddling up and watching movies. Sounds like my kind of dog. But what about someone who wants a dog with a bit more, well, presence?
Ah, you're looking for a dog with personality. You might want to consider a bulldog.
Bulldogs, they always look so serious.
They do, don't they?
Nah.
But beneath that gruff exterior lies a loyal, affectionate, and surprisingly goofy companion.
I love that. And it's important to remember that even these calmer breeds still need exercise, right?
Absolutely. Every dog needs some form of physical activity. Even if it's just a leisurely stroll around the block, it's crucial for their physical and mental well-being. And speaking of specific needs, let's not forget about those special considerations you mentioned earlier. Allergies, living in a small apartment, families with children.
Yes, let's dive into those a bit deeper. What are some things to keep in mind if you have allergies, for example?
Well, you included some excellent resources on hypoallergenic breeds. These are breeds that are known to produce fewer allergens, making them a good choice for people with allergies.
Okay, so what are some examples of hypoallergenic breeds?
Poodles are always a popular choice, and they come in 3 sizes: standard miniature and toy. So you can find one that fits your lifestyle. Bichon Frises, which we mentioned earlier, are also considered hypoallergenic, as are Portuguese water dogs.
Portuguese water dogs, those are the dogs that Obama has.
Right, the very same. They have a waterproof coat and webbed feet, which makes them excellent swimmers.
So not only are they hypoallergenic, but they're great for people who love to be in the water.
Exactly. And then there are those who live in smaller spaces, like apartments or condos. Size is definitely a consideration, but it's not just about square footage, it's also about the dog's energy level.
Right, you can have a small dog that's bouncing off the walls, which wouldn't be ideal in a tiny apartment.
Exactly. So in addition to considering smaller breeds, like the Bichon Frise or the Cavalier King Charles Spaniel, you might also want to think about breeds that are known for being adaptable and less demanding in terms of exercise.
Okay, so what are some examples of breeds that thrive in smaller spaces?
Well, you've got some great options highlighted in your research. Pugs are always a popular choice. They're relatively small but sturdy, and they're known for being adaptable to different living environments. Boston Terriers are another great option. They're compact but lively, and they don't require a ton of space.
I love those breeds. And if you're looking for something maybe a bit more unique, there's always the miniature schnauzer.
Excellent choice. Miniature schnauzers are known for their intelligence, their playful personalities, and their signature beards. They're a bit more demanding in terms of grooming, but they're generally adaptable to different living situations.
So many fantastic options. But before we get too caught up in specific breeds, let's circle back to those families with children.
Of course, choosing a dog for a family with children is a big responsibility. It's not just about finding a dog that's, good with kids. It's about finding a dog that matches your family's lifestyle, your energy level, and even your tolerance for a little bit of chaos.
Okay, so what are some things to keep in mind when choosing a dog for a family with young children?
Patience and tolerance are key. You want a dog that's not easily fazed by loud noises, accidental tail pulls, or being climbed on golden retrievers and Labradors, which we mentioned earlier, are often cited as being great with children.
I can definitely see why. But what about some smaller breeds that are good with kids?
Beagles are known for their gentle, playful nature. They're sturdy enough to handle a bit of roughhousing, but they're also relatively small, which can be a plus for families with younger children.
Those are all fantastic suggestions, but I'm sure some people are wondering, oh, wait, I have a good idea of what kind of dog I want. But where do I actually find this dream dog?
That's a great question. And luckily, you've included some excellent resources on your different options. Breeders, shelters, and rescues. It seems like there are 2 camps. Right. You've got your purebred enthusiasts who swear by breeders, and then you have those who believe rescuing is the only way to go. But honestly, both sides have valid points.
Yeah.
And your research does a great job of laying them all out. Let's start with breeders, since you included that great article from the American Kennel Club all about finding a responsible breeder.
Okay, so what does responsible even mean in this context? Is it just about the dog's pedigree, or is there more to it? Because let's be real, some of those purebred dogs can come with a hefty price tag.
Oh, absolutely. It's about so much more than just a fancy lineage or a cute puppy face. Responsible breeders are all about the well-being of their dogs, from birth all the way through those golden years. The article you provided emphasizes the importance of health testing, and not just a quick checkup, but like thorough screenings for genetic conditions.
That makes a lot of sense, because imagine, you fall in love with this adorable puppy, spend a fortune bringing them home, and then a year or 2 later, they start developing serious health issues because of something that could have been caught early on.
It's heartbreaking
Right.
and expensive. Responsible breeders are upfront about any potential health risks associated with the breed. They do their due diligence to make sure they're not perpetuating any genetic problems.
So health testing, check. What else makes a breeder stand out as responsible? I'm guessing you should be able to meet the parents of the puppies.
100%. And this isn't just about, like, seeing where your puppy gets their good looks.
Yeah.
It's about observing the parents' temperaments,
Yeah.
their energy levels, their overall demeanor.
Because a lot of times those personality traits can be passed down,
Right.
just like with humans.
Exactly. A responsible breeder will also be eager to answer any questions you have, not just about the puppies, but also about their breeding practices, their socialization methods, and their overall commitment to the breed.
It's like they're interviewing you as much as you're interviewing them.
Right.
They want to make sure their puppies are going to good homes.
Exactly. And speaking of good homes, let's talk about shelters and rescues.
Yes. This is something I'm personally passionate about. I volunteered at shelters before, and it always breaks my heart to see so many amazing dogs without a forever home. But I also know that adopting a rescue dog isn't for everyone, and it comes with its own set of considerations.
It absolutely does. And you've included some really insightful articles about navigating the adoption process. One thing that often surprises people is the sheer variety of dogs available for adoption. You've got your senior dogs, full of wisdom and love and Kirby, puppies who are bundles of energy, and everything in between.
And it's not just about age, right? You've got different breeds, mixes, sizes, personalities. It's like a rainbow of canine companions.
Exactly. And every dog has its own unique story, its own journey that led them to the shelter. Some might have been surrendered by their previous owners due to lifestyle changes, while others might have been rescued from really unfortunate situations.
That's why it's so important to go into the adoption process with an open mind and a willingness to be patient.
Right, absolutely. It's about finding the right match, not just based on looks or breed, but on personality, energy levels, compatibility with your lifestyle.
All of the articles you provided really emphasize the importance of working closely with the shelter staff.
Yes, they get to know these dogs so well, and they can offer really valuable insights into each dog's personality, their quirks, and, what kind of home environment would be the best fit.
It's like having a canine matchmaker. And it's not just about finding the right dog. It's also about understanding that adoption is a process. These dogs might have some baggage, some anxieties, or even some behavioral quirks that require patience and understanding.
You're absolutely right. Rescue dogs might need a little extra time and TLC to adjust to their new homes. They might need some reassurance, some positive reinforcement training, and a whole lot of love. But the rewards of providing a loving home to a dog in need are immeasurable.
I couldn't agree more. Now I have to ask about something totally different from these articles about breeders and shelters. Remember those online videos you included? Especially the one with Cesar Millen. He takes such a fascinating approach to choosing the right dog, talking about energy and compatibility.
Yes. He brings such a unique perspective to this, drawing these parallels between human relationships and the bond between humans and dogs.
Yeah.
He talks about how sometimes people are drawn to careers or relationships that aren't necessarily a good fit for them.
It's like they're trying to fit a square peg into a round hole.
Exactly. And he says it's the same with dogs. Sometimes people choose a dog based on looks, breed popularity, or what they think they should have, without really considering if that dog's energy and personality truly align with their own.
I remember he uses this really interesting analogy of back of the pack, middle of the pack, and front of the pack dogs, and how those dynamics can play out in a household. Can you elaborate on that a bit?
Sure. He describes back-in-the-pack dogs as more sensitive, maybe even a little shy. They're often content to follow the lead of others and might be overwhelmed in environments that are really chaotic or high energy.
Okay, so they're more like the introverts of the dog world?
Exactly. Then you have your middle-of-the-pack dogs. They're more adaptable. Go with the flow.
Yeah.
Happy to be included, but not necessarily vying for the spotlight.
They sound like those easygoing friends who are always up for anything.
Precisely. And then, of course, you have your front-of-the-pack dogs. These are your natural leaders, the ones who are confident, assertive, and sometimes even a little bossy.
They're the CEOs, the valedictorians, the ones
Yeah.
who just naturally take charge.
Exactly. And just like in the human world, none of these personality types are inherently good or bad. It's about finding the right match for you.
It's about understanding your own energy, your own personality,
Right.
and then finding a dog that complements that.
Right. Precisely. And Cesar Millen stresses that even if you have a good understanding of dog behavior like he does, there will always be challenges. It's about being willing to learn, to adapt, and to grow alongside your dog.
I love that. It's a partnership, a journey that you're embarking on together.
And speaking of journeys, you also included some really practical resources on training socialization, all those essential aspects of dog ownership that come after you've chosen your furry companion.
Yes, because bringing a dog home is just the beginning.
Right.
Then the real fun and the real work begins.
Exactly. And this Instructables article you've got here about choosing a second dog is a goldmine of information. They talk about the importance of making sure your current dog is fully housebroken and has a solid foundation in basic commands before even thinking about introducing a new dog.
That makes a lot of sense. You don't want to bring a new dog into a chaotic environment where the rules are unclear. It's like having a well-behaved older child who can help show the ropes to their younger sibling.
I love that analogy. And the article also stresses the importance of managing expectations. Don't expect your dogs to become best friends overnight.
Right. It takes time for them to adjust to each other's scents, their personalities, their boundaries.
It's about creating a safe and structured environment where they can gradually get to know each other. The article even suggests using baby gates to separate the dogs at first, allowing them to sniff and get acquainted without the pressure of direct interaction.
That's a great tip.
Yeah.
It's all about taking things slow and steady.
Exactly. And while we're on the topic of training and socialization, let's not forget about those crucial early months. That Positively.com article you provided, it goes into such great detail about how important socialization is for puppies, especially during those sensitive periods.
Socialization. Is that just a fancy word for puppy playdates? Because if so, sign me up.
It's a bit more than that. It's about exposing your puppy to a variety of people, places, sounds, and experiences in a positive and controlled way.
So it's about helping them build confidence and learn how to navigate the world without feeling overwhelmed or scared.
Exactly. It's like giving them a toolbox full of social skills that'll help them thrive in different environments.
So we're talking about things like taking them to puppy classes, on walks in different neighborhoods, introducing them to friendly dogs and people of all ages.
Precisely. And remember, socialization isn't just for puppies. It's essential for dogs of all ages,
Yeah.
especially those who might have missed out on those crucial early experiences, like rescue dogs.
So it's never too late to teach an old dog new tricks. Or in this case, new social skills.
Wow, we have covered so much. From lifestyle audits and breed personalities to the practicalities of training and socialization, honestly, you have really thought of everything. But now for like the million-dollar question.
How do you actually know? Right. How do you know when you found the one? When you've met that dog you're meant to share your life with.
Right, exactly. Because we can talk about breeds and energy levels and all of that good stuff, but ultimately it comes down to that intangible something, that spark, that connection.
You're so right. It's that feeling you get when you look into a dog's eyes and you just know. Like they're looking back at you, seeing into your soul and saying,
Yeah.
You'll be my person.
Okay, that's adorable, but also a little mystical. Are there any practical tips, any behaviors we can look for that might indicate a good match, beyond just like feeling it? Because not everyone is fluent in dog telepathy, unfortunately. Fair enough. While there's no guaranteed formula, there are definitely some subtle cues you can watch for. First and foremost, pay attention to the dog's body language. Do they seem genuinely interested in you? Do they approach you with a relaxed body, a wagging tail, maybe even a playful bow? Or do they shy away, seem stiff or tense, avoid eye contact?
So it's not just about if they acknowledge you, it's about the energy they bring to that interaction.
Exactly. You want a dog who seems approachable, engaged, and generally comfortable around humans. And if you have the opportunity, observe how they interact with other dogs. Are they playful and respectful? Do they seem to understand those canine social cues? Or do they seem overly assertive, like trying to dominate other dogs? Or maybe overly fearful and submissive?
It's about getting a sense of their overall temperament, their social skills, how they navigate their world.
Precisely. In this one article you included, it touched on something so important. Even if a dog ticks all the boxes on paper, the breed, the age, the energy level, it's still so crucial to trust your gut feeling.
So you're saying that logic and research are important, but sometimes you just have to listen to your heart.
100%. Does this dog make you feel good? Do you feel a sense of ease and joy when you're around them? Sometimes there's just this unexplainable connection, an intuitive sense that this is the right dog for me, even if they weren't what you initially had in mind.
It's that love at first sight moment. But with a dog, that feeling of, this is my dog, and I'm going to give them the best life ever.
Exactly. It's a bit like falling in love. You can't always explain it, but you just know. And I think that's the beauty of this whole process. It's a decision that engages both your head and your heart.
So let's say you've done your research, you've met the dog, you feel that spark, that undeniable connection. What's next? Do you just like grab a leash and shout, "We're going home"?
It's tempting. But there are a few practical matters to take care of first. If you're working with a shelter or a rescue, there's usually an application process, and they might want to conduct a home visit just to make sure you're providing a safe and suitable environment.
Makes sense. They want to make sure it's a good fit for both the dog and the adopter.
Exactly. And whether you're adopting or going through a breeder, it's important to have those initial conversations about things like vetting, feeding schedules, any known medical conditions, and any training the dog has or hasn't had.
It's about setting everyone up for success right from the start.
Exactly. Because bringing a dog into your life is an amazing, rewarding, and sometimes challenging adventure. It's a commitment to providing care, love, and enrichment for another living being.
It's about welcoming a new member into your family and embarking on this incredible journey of companionship and unconditional love.
Beautifully said. And you know what? You are incredibly prepared for this journey. You've done your research, you've asked such insightful questions, and you're approaching this decision with both your head and your heart.
Oh, thanks. I feel like I've learned so much from this deep dive. And you're right, I do feel ready, excited, a little bit nervous, but mostly just ready to welcome that furry friend into my life.
Then trust your gut, follow your heart, and get ready for all the joy and laughter that comes with sharing your life with a dog.
Okay, listeners, you heard it here first. Time for me to go find my new best friend.